that we put a 30 average on the board, and that was airspeed being pushed by Sebastian Excel. Yes, it's phenomenal, and it's not even a fast draw.
No.
You know, there are in 8-way there's certain fast blocks, and to get a good average, you want those blocks to come up together, and there hasn't been a fast jump really. So that is absolutely phenomenal, and it's just beautiful to watch in this 17-foot tunnel. We've got a great slot here, haven't we? The studio, looking at the tunnel, we're on a little bit of a raised a platform here, and we can see the expressions on people's faces, and you know, the body movements. It's absolutely stunning.
I think it's probably one of the best, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best vantage points we've had in the tunnel for a commentary side. You know, for a very for us to be selfish on it, it's one of the best vantage points we've had. It was something which came to its front at the I Fly Lyon, at the Clash of Lions we had in, where was it, last month? February was Win Games, January was I Fly Lyon, and we had the raised platform, the stage overlooking the tunnel. It was such a good idea. And I was here 2 weeks ago and I was speaking to the organisers, and I mentioned if it was something they could do, and here they had managed to put it together. What about the N2? What's the overnights standing on that? How's that looking?
Well, let's start off in equal sixth place, because it's quite close around the bronze medal position. Equal sixth place with 62 points. We've got Les Frères de la Côte and Wacha PCP.
Yeah.
And then in fifth place for Italy, we've got One Shot with 81 points. This is all after 6 rounds.
Right.
Just ahead of them with 1 point more is Voiture Noyen Aspima-Berge for France on 82 points.
Yeah.
And currently in bronze medal position is Darwings. They've been in silver and bronze jumping around there, and they've got 85 points.
So there's 3 points in it for that
3
podium.
points in it, and then 1 point ahead of them is the Fly Panot in silver medal position at the moment, but just on 86 points.
Yeah.
So really, any of those teams, One Shot, Voiture Noyen Aspima-Berge, Darwings and Fly Panot, the bronze and the silver medal is up for the taking. But way out in front are the, I can't call them kids, the young adults of the Aerocart Academy 3. And they've got 98 points after 6 rounds. Phenomenal.
So you might think that 3 point difference between third and fourth is a lot, but there's 4 rounds left, and it can happen. We've seen it happen before, haven't we? That 3 points can be, all they need is a meltdown on one round in third place.
Particularly in the N2, because the guys, you know, by definition, they're not as high level as the AAA, as the N1, and really what wins meets is consistency. So there's all the more chance that somebody might have a bit of a fluff up. So it's there for the taking. I would say of all the podiums, you know, this is the most exciting, or the one where there's going to be most action going on. But I am really interested to see what's going to happen in the N1 with the Tigers just sitting 1 point ahead of Real Fly Zion at the moment. There's definitely going to be a battle on there. It'd be quite nice to see it's always nice to see teams win, isn't it?
Yeah. Just going back to that N2 a minute there, we're talking about that little bit of a fight going on for second and third place to get on that podium. 3 points for that third as it stands. 4 rounds left. Any of their levels where you could see it being a problem, where somebody could either be in a fast round where they could pull something back, or a tricky round which could cost somebody points?
Well, it's all to play for really, because round 7, which is what they're going to do now, is PEC6. So that's
quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fast because it's 3 randoms and the 6 is a very fast block. We saw that one yesterday. That's where we were watching the crossing of the centre point. So we'll have to have a look out for that. But yeah, 6, if you do it, execute it well, it's a fast block. So that one, someone could easily make 4 points on that jump. Then round 8 is F21K, so that's two randoms and 1 block.
Boogie block.
Yeah, but round 9, now this is going to be really exciting. Round 9 is 9BN, and 9 is
it's like a random block, isn't it?
It is. It's cat and accordion and cat. Yeah. So that is really a 4 random jump. So both round 7 and round 9 could be really fast. And then we end up the meet round 10 with 22 HG. That'd be reasonably fast as well. So I'd say it's all to play for in N2. But what's really going to happen is it's going to go to the team that keeps their cool, that doesn't get excited. because that's what happens when you have an all-random jump, or a jump where you know that there's a potential for a high score. Is, you know, it's zero or hero. You can, you know, it's all about keeping your calm and not trying to go too fast, just making the moves really small and economic. But that's where you start adding up, you put a number on the scoreboard and people get excited and blow it. So yeah, I think it's all could be thrilling in N2.
Well, it is our action here at Wimby and Lille in France with the French Indoor Championships 2018 all geared up for next year for the big world meet here in France in April, isn't it? April in 2019. And we've got the European Championships in Voss coming up in a couple of weeks, and then the big world meet in Bahrain at the end of the year. And we already know now, I was talking to Elliot from Ninjas, he had a meeting with the French Federation yesterday just to confirm his position, as he suspected, that winning that two-way dynamic was going to mean they were the French team now. And he said it looks like they're going to be the French team for this, for the European, for Bahrain, and back here as well for the world meet next year. So that's good news for them.
Fantastic. So have they got a big training plan lined up, Regan?
Well, I would imagine so. With Window, they do seem to put a lot of effort into the team, don't they?
They do invest heavily in their great flyers. They put out so many amazing flyers around the world.
You could almost say
we were watching on the live stream yesterday. You know, it was nice to hear Raph and Gizzy, people like that giving us a shout out.
You could almost say Spain with Window is the stable of the dynamic flying, and here Wimby in France is the stable of the FS, couldn't you? It's kind of that feel towards it.
Yes, and with 3 out of the 4 owners of this tunnel being ex-4 and 8-way world champions, then they've definitely brought their influence here. You can see so many of those blue suits in the team. Yeah. So many great techniques from the young teams that they've obviously done so much coaching here.
When I first arrived in this tunnel, I think I mentioned it yesterday, there's the debriefing stations all the way around. There's not closed off team rooms as such. It's these debriefing stations, one right behind the studio where we are now, one by the side of the bar, one by the door. And when I arrived, as I came through the corner, there was those owners, the coaches, with 4-way teams, all there, all busy, all debriefing. And this was 2 weeks before the competition, so it's easy to say it's just a trial for the competition, but it wasn't. It seems like it's a regular occurrence. There's high quality coaching and briefing going on all the time.
That's what I've found when I've come here, and it's great to see how the tunnel's progressed. I was here this time last year, and it hadn't been open that long, only a few months, and they were holding their first competition, the French National Championships. And now you can see from there to here, they've got more facilities, beautiful displays on the wall, photographs, a lovely seating area in front of the tunnel. They're not staying still at all. You know, more equipment. Seem to be TVs springing up everywhere. It's good to see. You can't stay still in this world, can you? Everyone else overtakes you.
In the 8-way as well, we don't want to give you the overnight scores just yet. Chief Judge Thierry was just saying there's a couple of teams there who are in a bit of a mixed area at the moment because they've got multiple people in different teams. He's just going to find out exactly which ones can fit into the French Open and update the system with us and bring that information as we go through the morning. But we are moments away from the start of this morning's action, Sunday at 7:57. The clocks have gone forward an hour here in Europe. It's now almost 8 a.m. as we officially move into spring, and the final day of this prestigious event here, the French National Championships in Lille at Wimby. And we're going to be starting with the N2 division in round 7.
If you remember, was PEC6, so potentially high scorer.
It is indeed.
And you can hear the tunnel ramping up now.
Here we go, let's switch to the antechamber. Let's have a look at the action as this team get their helmets on. Final bits of checks, zips up, buckles in place, teams are ready, eye contact, get in there. It says get your position in the door. Visors are down, ready, set, go, it's off.
And this is Watcher PCP.
How have they been doing throughout the event, Leslie?
Just checking it out for you. They're currently in equal 6 with 62 points after 6 rounds, so just about a 10 average.
Halfway down, like 13 teams in the total. How are they doing? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this 6 there. 57% on the speed, 24 degrees inside the tunnel right now.
Oh, and we've got a bit of altitude. Never try and take a grip from below.
And out they go. Leslie, the temperature of the tunnel makes a difference, whether it's hot or cold. You know, as the day progresses, the air heats up. It's currently only 24 degrees in there. Yesterday it was 32 at one point. How does that affect your flight?
Well, as we saw yesterday, a few of the competitors were struggling a little bit with calf injuries. Not so much injuries, but it's quite easy to go into cramps if you go in there and you're not properly warmed up, or even if you are warmed up, but then you're in this pretty cold blast. But really, once you get in there, you just fly. You're not really thinking about the temperature, are you?
Well, I think it affects the wind speed, doesn't it?
Yes.
The temperature, so you get different flight characteristics.
Definitely.
If it's cold or if it's hot.
Definitely, and you can see this team. To my mind, they look as though they could almost be having a little bit more wind speed there.
Yeah, 57.5.
And if it was a different temperature, you know, it does make a difference. But they're grooving through the points. The Poisson, vive la chute.
Very good morning to everybody watching on the live stream. Give us a shout out, let us know where you are, and if you're enjoying the action, any questions you might have about how the day's going to progress, let us know. 2 teams are through already. It's next up, it's the Les Friends de la Côte. And ready, set, go, they're in.
Quite a lot of height on that 6. Now landing the close. Just need to calm
frantic,
down
isn't it?
this team. I think they've got a little bit of, as I was saying before, it's easy to think, oh, this is a potential high scorer, and then as soon as you start rushing, then that's when you throw those points out of the window, leave them on the table.
Where were they, Leslie? They look like they're going for a medal position with the frantic flying.
They are in equal 6th position with Watch Up PCP.
That's played on the mind a little bit.
On about 6 average.
I think that's played on the mind a little bit, being in joint position. They're thinking we need to push.
They're probably having their own little battle there for sure.
It didn't really work out for them, I don't think. Pushing harder than they've been doing. Sometimes, like you say, keeping calmer. Sky claims Corbus. Scullens Corbus, should I say. Now, calmer. How was their position overnight?
Now they're in 11th position on 51, so that's around about an 8.
Keeping the 6 on the flat as well, not taking a vertical on the 6. Interesting. Yeah, let's try and see what this time. The first one wasn't. Maybe it was intended.
Yeah, they could certainly do with being a little bit more efficient on their 6. The technique is that you swap positions with your partner, with your clone, the other 2, and then hold the other 2, swap positions, and you want to be coming out of that on grips.
Well, we've got a message in from Gary Smith, not the Gary Smith that's here, but Gary Smith in Perth, Western Australia. It's 2 p.m. there. He's loving our work. Morning, guys. Very good morning, good afternoon to you, Gary. Glad you're enjoying the action. Fly Ponts are next in here on the AA or the N2 category.
And they are currently in silver medal position, and you can see straight away the sort of level of the jumping is increasing.
So
yeah,
with
land at 6.
With 86,
Keep
isn't it?
Concentrating, guys.
86 points.
Indeed. Yeah. Just 1 point ahead of Darwin's.
So they want to keep that silver now. The gold's out of their reach, but they don't want to slip down into bronze place or even slip off the podium. Pontons need to hold on to this 1 point advantage now.
And they're keeping it together. They're landing that catch. You can see they're hooking that leg on the close. Once you hook that leg, then really you know the block is done. But it's about being brave and fearless, and not being afraid to grab that leg and provide a good solid break. So next up we have
Ellen de DGA. Here comes the just stick it out there for the 6. teammate.
I think you're right about the temperature. It definitely.
It's warmed up 25.8 now inside the tunnel. It's 2 degrees warmer than the first flight. So as that air starts to circulate, starts to get heated, those molecules get compressed, starts creating energy.
And what I like about this team, the way they're flying, they're really making sure that those points are there. You know, when they get the formation, they're locking it out and making a nice shape before they move on to the next one, which at this level is a really good thing to do. You know, in the N1, we're seeing people just touch grips and get off them. That's the next stage. But
yes.
Firstly, we want to be making sure that our points are all a nice shape and that we're referencing with our opposite.
Just pumping the airspeed up a little bit now. 58.5% of power whistling through this 17-foot tunnel here in Wimby in Lille.
That's a nice M launch. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Just got a bit excited. That's a lovely 6, landing that close. I like the bright yellow gloves. That's going to make life easy for the judges. Yeah, these guys have found their mojo. They're flying better than they were yesterday. Nice one shot. It often happens that you can reset a little overnight. Of course, you should reset between jumps, but somehow that overnight break, when you review the day, and it looks to me as though they said, come on guys, we need to be a little bit more together, a little bit better communication. You can see they're all heads up, they're all referencing with their opposite, and it's showing in their skydives. That was great. I think that's one of the best flights that we've seen from One Shot. Nice one, guys.
It was a big day for them yesterday, for all the teams. 6 flights back to back, almost just enough time to get out of the tunnel, prepare the next round and back into the tunnel. So those 6 flights all in one go would have left them quite tired. As you say, the overnight rest works out.
Yes, they've barely got 35 minutes between rounds, which, considering you want to be up here and ready 10 minutes before, it's just giving you 25 minutes to get out, get your breath and breathe the next jump.
That's right.
Now these guys are getting a lot of height on their 6, which of course they've then got to make back up again. I think if they could just take a little bit of height out of that vertical, then they could be adding a bit onto their scores.
Almost 160 kilometers an hour now, this wind coming through this tunnel, keeping these guys in this competition. It's 56% of the power of the tunnel, so it's a powerful machine. 160 kilometers, 56%, so just over half the power. Just shows you how much the technology has improved in these wind tunnels over the last few years. Currently the biggest tunnel available to fly in the world at 17 foot. Next team, preparing their entrance, getting those legs into place, watching now, Aspen Warriors.
And these guys are in 4th position and they're just 3 points behind Darwin's. So if they have a good jump, they could pull back some points here. They look a little bit rocky. I think, as we were saying before, maybe the excitement has got to them. Nice random sequence. Yeah, they're calming down. Yeah, that's good. Landing the close on the 6. Yep, they're going really nicely. They've got their mojo. They've got a good rhythm going there. A little bit more eye contact by the hopper on the 6, and they could be landing that close a little bit more. Here, yes.
That's better, isn't it?
Nice.
There's always a tendency on those 6s to let that hop. You know, you want to really think about pushing down that right-hand knee as you come over to stop that momentum, don't you, and drop it into the hand of the person waiting.
Absolutely. So now we have Aerocot Academy currently in the lead, well ahead of anyone behind them.
Yeah.
So let's see their 6s. These guys are so agile in their vertical moves. Look at that, just beautiful.
12 points in the lead from those in the second place, current second place. Nice launch, nice landings of the 6s.
And this is Adrian Galot, Simon Capel, Yaroslav Aikin, and Valentin Vasil. Their point is really small, and that's a great advantage for point. It makes them very agile. And if you look at that whole front piece with the outside center and point, it's really easy for them to do that vertical.
And tail as well, big and long arms for reaching out. Going to stand them in good stead for future.
Yeah, nice one, Aerocot Academy. And the parents in Moulay from Tenanin giving those young adults some well-deserved applause there.
It's going to be interesting how these teams develop, like you say, point being small, but they're getting to that age now where the body's going to start shooting into different directions. It's going to make a difference, isn't it, to the team dynamic?
It is, but then also what's going to happen is they get more mature, more of the competition mindset.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to get better. It's great. These guys won the AA last year, or the N2. Now I apologise. It's the guys that are in N1 that won this last year. So now it looks as though that Academy Trois are going to win, and then they're going to go into N1 next year. And I'm sure we'll see, or I'm hoping we'll see, another Ericard Academy young team here next year.
If you just joined us on Facebook on the live stream, a very good morning and welcome to France Wimby 17-foot tunnel here with the French Open Indoor Championships 2018. We're currently in the AA category of four-way, or N2 as it's called here in France, with 2 more teams to fly, and then it's into the AAA, the seniors, the N1 category of four-way for their round 7 of the competition. Next in, Les Improvers Wimby.
And this is Radia Buxu, Kamaltini, Jeffrey Hughes, and Regis Verbeek. My apologies if I'm not pronouncing your names right. And these guys are just totally new to the whole four-way concept. They haven't done much flying together at all. They don't really know all the blocks. They're here for fun. They're having a great time, and you can see them. They've gradually got more and more confident through the meet. This is looking quite polished. They're doing their 6 on the flat, but they're landing the close. There's a good awareness and good eye contact in the team.
It's one of those blocks that you, as a four-way team, indoor, outdoor, it's one of the first blocks you would really try to work on and work the technique. With that holding off the pieces, the separation, the cross-referencing from one piece to the other.
Yeah, it's the classic vertical block to start people on, and it's a great discipline. If you take those things that you were just mentioning into all your blocks,
yeah,
it will work.
Next up, Darwings. Now, they were in third.
Second. Oh,
second.
Sorry. Third, yes, they were in second, and then they slipped back to third.
And they were holding that. What is between third and fourth? What's the gap? Leslie, the
3 points.
3 points.
They're 1 point behind the second place team. In all honesty, it looked to me as though Fly Pinot had a more polished round.
You could see him really working the momentum on the close of that 6, the hopper. Watch when he brings in that right knee, really working it.
Really dropping it down.
Makes all the difference.
And they calm down now a little in the jump, just as Fly Pinot were as well. Nice one, guys, but I have a feeling that Fly Pinot are still going to just have the edge there.
Well, that's their action done for that round. They're off now to prepare for round 8, but now we're going into the N1 category of the four-way, and starting off with Air Max Esprit Maubeuge with round 7. We have the draw, I think, for round 7. I'm just going to get that in front of us, Leslie.
And the draw is CE1211. So the 12 will normally swap point and tail, but then the 11 conveniently swaps them back again. Oh, I apologise. No, it doesn't.
Flying at 57%, temperature inside the tunnel now, again raised up another degree, 25.4. Incredible in this last, 20 minutes of flying. Tunnel temperature has gone up 5 degrees from the start of the engines being fired up. So it just shows how it does make a big difference as the day progresses. The door is clear. The next team are making their way into the door. L'Effort Chrétien Clément. Round 7 here at the French Indoor Championships 2018. Another shout out to everybody watching on the live stream. Very good morning to you. Paul Morgan, good friend of mine, do a lot of jumps with him out in Dubai. Good to have you online. A great four-way jumper as well, Paul. Entered quite a few tunnel competitions over the last few years. Out there with Shona, his wife, Claire Greenwood and Rich Rust, and myself too. for Crétin Clément.
And they're currently in 19th place with 106 points after 6 rounds. They're doing a very nice job of their 12, cutting the corner and making that move smaller for the front piece, because the front piece has a 540 to do, but if the other two can meet them translate a little bit, then they shorten the move.
We're looking forward to seeing those 540s by some of these top teams coming up. The Jaguar, will he be doing the 540? Will it be his slot?
Most probably.
We'll look forward to seeing that. This is now Expansion Osper Mauvais.
And they are currently in 18th place with 108 points. It's often quite a lot of momentum on the close of the 12 that you've got to shut off after you've done that. The front piece has done that big turn. Because they're easy to get going, compress these pieces, but sometimes they don't seem to want to stop.
After this, we're going to be going into the 8-way with our French team of commentators. We're trying to mix up the commentary a little bit for you, with it being the French nationals, and give the local crowd some expert opinion as well. And you've got an 8-way competition coming up yourself, as you're coming back with the team.
Yes, well, we're putting the Brit Chicks back together because the Body Flight World Challenge are having an 8-way competition this year, and having hassled Paul Mayer for years to have an 8-way competition, I feel now I've got to go and give it a go. We've got about half of the original lineup and picked up some stellar girls to join us, such as Anna Hicks from NFTO.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ray
Nice.
doesn't know any 8-way, but tell her what to do and she'll be awesome.
We got Maria back?
We have got Maria, yes. We've got Shell,
Yeah.
from the original team.
Yeah.
I've got Sian Stokes, who
Wow.
wasn't on Brit Chicks, but she flew with me in the ex-presidents. Sarah Ashworth is joining us, so it's going to be a really nice team.
Incredible
a lot of
talent there.
But the first time we're going to get all 8 together will be the first jump of the competition, of course.
As it should be as well. As it should be. That gives it a nice feel that you've not been on a training camp. It's good people with good skills putting yourself out there in front of the audience and in front of the world and seeing what you can do without training. It's good. I really like that.
Yes.
That would be a good commentary piece if I was commentating that. Cyberlab, did we know anything about them yet, Leslie? Cyberlab, overnight we've got some details come through.
Well, I found out the names. They're Aurélien Lemaire, Fabien Roland, Cyril Avocat-Dubois, and Jeremy Bignami.
There you go. Taff is watching as well. Pete Taff. Morning, Pete.
Hi Pete, how are you doing? Another one of my peace partners. They're littered around the world. Once a peace partner, always a peace
Absolutely.
partner. And Cyberlab are doing a really great job,
They're
as
looking
we've
good,
seen
aren't they?
from them throughout. They're sitting in 20th position.
Incredible,
it just
isn't
shows
it?
what a great standard this is. As you were saying before, with the French feel out there in the front with a 31.7, 31.8 average, incredible.
Any other day, Leslie, like I said yesterday, if you walked in a tunnel for a coffee and saw that team, Cyberlab, flying in there, you would think, wow, that's good four-way.
Exactly.
And the what far down the back of the 20th? 20th place, did you say?
Yes.
Incredible. Herbivores and Nisi Palomars now.
Cindy Delberg, Celine Soiree, Basile Mora, and Camille Villeneuve.
I meant to catch in with Cindy and ask about that new suit, why she reverted back to her old suit here, but it's probably just like you say, comfort, get through this competition, start training the new suit after this.
And they're in 15th position with 111 points.
This team have really come on as well the last couple of competitions I've seen them in. If I'm right in saying they were down at Wing Games, I do believe they were, and they seem to have really picked up the game. Pete Taff says good morning to both of you. Good morning, Pete. It's great to have you online watching the action of an incredible talent of UK skydiving of four-way.
Pete now joining Sebastian Excel this year, so we wish them all the best, our British team.
Sebastian Excel.
Oh, what are they called now? It's just Excel, isn't it? It was Satori Excel.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a good stable of talent that's been too. I mean, when I first started jumping in 1990, they were the team. They were the big name.
And how long has Pete Allen been winning four-way nationals?
Over 30
20,
years.
30 years? 30 years, it must be.
No limits now, the Russian team. Again, we're at that stage now in the competition where everybody that you see here, it's a national event. It could be a world-class event with the action we're going to see this bottom half of the table.
And these guys are in 14th position with 116 points.
Oh.
And I think they wanted a 17 or an 18 average, and they're looking comfortable at that at the moment. Nice one, no limits.
Yeah, Pete says it's still Satori, by the way.
Oh yes, I know it's. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
I
Pete.
thought they were just going with Excel.
I think they should. Right, here we go. This team is setting the world on fire, Leslie. Erica Academy, number 2, Duh. Look at the talent of this young team. Look at the potential of them.
And how fast they're flying.
The energy.
You were saying yesterday about how how aware they all were of that last grip, and yeah, you can definitely see that. They're not hanging around, are they? They are going for it.
You don't get to fly like this by just having money thrown at it. You got to want it to be this good.
Exactly.
To be this skillful, this aware with each other, this much energy. You can't just put people in the tunnel and make it happen. They've got to want to be champions, and they do. They are going to be champions.
And what superb examples they've got, what great role models. The standard of belly flying, of FS in France is amazing, and it has been amazing for as long as I've been skydiving.
21 points we're looking at there, and average, we'll get an idea. We've got our good friend Mathieu there with
Bernier, yes.
Yeah, he's helping us out a little bit, just doing his own, putting himself on the line a little bit, really counting the points and looking at any busts that there might be, but he thinks it was a 21 there.
Well, when we were talking to Patrice yesterday, he was talking about wanting us to get our sport into the Olympics, and the French Federation is very, very much pushing that.
Yeah.
And if we want to do that, then we have to have instant judging.
Yeah.
The dynamic normally gives instant judging. We have to either have quicker reviews than we were having yesterday, which normally, in fairness, it doesn't take that long. But the dynamic is way, way ahead of the FS, and as far as being understandable and exciting to the public. This is fascinating for us to watch, but the public, they want to see the score. And so Patrice, going back to Mathieu, Patrice was saying that we really have to be getting onto this sort of judging whereby the judges could be reviewing the overhead footage, scoring it straight away, one review just while the team's getting out of the tunnel, and then post that score straight away.
Maybe a 16 there for this team. One thing you were saying as well, criteria for the Olympics, if wind tunnel flying wants to be an Olympic sport, you've got to represent every continent's got to be on there. The other thing he was saying as well, quite radically, is we probably don't have an aspect of the sport yet which would make it to the Olympics. All the different disciplines we have, it would probably be something completely different than what we've got at the moment, whether it be the flat flying dynamic or freestyle. It'd be some kind of even new type of discipline, something which the public can really hook onto. Expendables, Wimby now making their 7th round debut here in the final day of action at Wimby, with me, Regan Tetlow, and Leslie Gale in the studio. Very good morning if you just joined us on the live stream. Leslie is surrounded by content and paper here now with results and team information from previous days. You've been kind of uploaded and overloaded with paperwork here, Leslie, this morning. Maybe 17 there for the Expendables. 21, 16, 17. Again, these scores are just what we're looking at now and timing with a stopwatch. It's not the official results, which will be brought to you as the day progresses. Now from Monaco, team 411. These talents of years gone by back now in action with great performance. Monaco Sky Dream Team. How have they finished up overnight, Leslie?
They are in 12th position with 131 points after 6 rounds. So they're looking at about a 21 average, which is phenomenal. I wouldn't mind betting that that's young Killian's highest, they're going to be doing his highest 4-way average. He's just joined this team, 17 years old, bringing his youthful passion and enthusiasm to the fore with these very experienced and excellent French flyers. This is the best that I've ever seen Monaco four-way team perform.
We're thinking of 21 there as well, matching
nice.
Erica Academy.
Which they are currently 9 points behind Academy, so they're not going to have made any up on that, but still looking at an excellent score. They're just behind Tenanin, which is, as we know, they're a very trained team. So Monaco, really respect to them for what they've done in this meet.
Lee Afranci fly zone now, ready, set, go into the tunnel.
This is Fabrice, Sylvie, Clement and Jean. And they are currently in 13th position with 117, so about a 19 average. Flying really nicely there, everything on a level.
It's really interesting, Leslie, to see those entrances from the tunnel door, from the antechamber. Very different than skydiving out of a plane where with an exit in a plane, the whole piece is gone. With this, it almost seems like it stalls in the door as 1, 2, 3, 4 enter.
Yes.
It's very odd as a skydiver to see it from the antechamber, to see the entrance. We'll have a look at that with the next team and see what you think about it. Let's have a look now, looking at a 17 here, we think, with our great scorer.
Thank you, Mathieu.
Mathieu there, who's just really using a stopwatch and a pen and whiteboard to try and give us more of an instant idea of what scores we're looking at as they come through.
It will be interesting to see how close he is to the official scores.
Let's watch this entrance now from this antechamber camera, Leslie. See if it makes sense what I was saying. As a skydiving exit which just disappears, it almost feels like it kind of stalls and falls into the tunnel. It's like it's very different, isn't it?
Yes.
Than a skydiving exit.
Yes, when you get out the plane, you get the slipstream straight away, bang.
Yeah.
But it's almost lumping into the air because everyone's all crunched up and it just takes a while to get the wind on your belly.
Shane Woods joined us on the live stream, another one of my teams that I was flying against back in the day, back when I had my Angels team, and he had Team Raz. Morning, Shane. Morning to everybody else who's joined us on the live stream too. It's again a full house here in Wimby and Lille with the final day of action with the 4-way and the 8-way to find out who is the French national champions for 2018. Great strong action, looking like a 17 there as well for just in time. So 17, 17, 17 seems to be the medium score. Yeah, 16 in there, 21s, 21s is what we're looking at. Again, we're just timing these with a stopwatch. This is not the official scores. But is that the future? Is that what we can be doing with tunnel flying, Leslie?
I would hope so.
Judges stood around with Nintendo, just like they're using dynamic Nintendo hand controllers for a bust. Judges stood around. Every time they see a clean point, they press. It's possible, no?
It is, because if you look at it, then they actually judge in real time on the system when they watch it. So it's not that much of a change to watch it straight away, have one review, and just go for it.
And all the teams buy into it.
Yes, and I think, it's a little, you just have to buy into that that's the way the decision is going to be made.
That's the way it's going to be in the future,
yeah. Yeah, nobody ever says that judging is totally fair. There'll always be those questionable calls. And does it actually get any better if they do 5 reviews? Does it actually get any better if they have 5 judges rather than 3 judges?
Certainly makes for better television if we can get a better answer and a quicker answer. Another 17 there we're looking at. At the moment, we found our own solution. Matteo with their whiteboard and a dry white marker and a stopwatch to give us an instant idea of what we've got. Now then, check out this turning action. Who's doing the 540s?
Yep.
Wow.
Martial, incredible.
It's hard to explain what we can see here. We're just maybe 3 meters from the tunnel, a meter up. It's a perfect vantage point. And watching the action of Martial as he just powers his body through these moves like it's the most urgent, aggressive thing he's ever done in his life. Every single time.
He's taking body pitch to the absolute maximum, isn't he?
He's the epitome of French flying,
yes.
Really.
And he's flying, 22 or a 23.
22 or a 23 there, we're looking at Tenanin.
They'll be happy with that. Tenanin they're 11th after 6 rounds and they're on 138 points.
Incredible, incredible. Lijon
Like
Wimby.
That's like a 22 average. They're in 11th place.
So I think that's probably the fastest we've seen, as you would expect. But not much more than the Aero Academy 21. We think Aero Academy put a 21 down. So this Aero Academy team, a couple of years from now, if they keep growing like they are, sky's the limit.
And Aero Academy are actually 2 points ahead of Tenerife. I hadn't noticed that. We must give Moulet a little bit of a ribbing about that.
Absolutely,
later on.
we must. 160 kilometres an hour, 56.5% of the power going through the tunnel. Air temperature of 25.2 degrees as we move through this round 7 into the top category. And the Legion Wingby with a 24.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they are really, really going for it. They look like they're on fire. It's an awesome score from Legion, who are currently in 6th position with 153 points. So add 24 to that, we get 177. Who's up next, Regan?
Espoir Wingby Lille into the airflow. Oh, it's a sticky start. That cost them there, Leslie. 2-3 seconds to get the balance.
And that's a couple of points lost right there.
What happened? Did you see what happened there? It just hesitation with a grip or something.
It seemed it was also a problem with the entrance, as you say. It's all a bit lumpy going in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice 12s. Good height on the 11s and making it down there. They're really gunning it, but they don't look as fast as the Legions or Aero Cards.
23 there. That little start could have cost them a point, could have cost them 2 points.
And they're currently in 9th position with 144.
Ray Ahmed's favourite now, Odin. Team got Odin. They've got the shield of Odin in front of the tunnel. And here they go now with this round 7 performance. Let's check out the entrance and how quick they get into that next point.
Oh, look, that's beautiful.
See, that's that 2-second advantage they just pulled up on the team before.
You could see them really pausing in the door and sort of projecting the launch out. They definitely seem to take a little bit more care in placing it on the airflow. And that shows in the fact they were able to work so quickly from that first point, because they just showed it and broke.
Yeah.
Whereas if you show it but then it's not flying, you break and you're all over the place. But that was flying right from the moment they entered the tunnel. I love their energy. This is a really nice round from them. As always, they're just such a tidy team.
The block move, is it? Wow.
Now, did I Murray walk with them there? 23.
23, maybe one bust in there. So it's, we're in the 24s and 23 category at the moment. Still to come, Hurricane Factory Extremo, Amnesia, Gavos and Wimby in the next block of 3, and then 3 more teams after that. Are we going to start moving beyond the 22s, 23s, Leslie? Is that what we're going to see now with these ex-champions, Extremo? We'll find out in the next minute. Here we go. Oh, not a good start, Leslie, not a good start at all.
And just what we were saying about the launch didn't have enough air on it, so it just wasn't flying when it went down on the net.
In some tunnels, as we know, with some competitions, you get that dead drop at the beginning. In Montreal, we have that. They don't have that here, so there's not really an excuse for that entrance there.
Well, it's just taking that extra care, isn't it? Like Odin did, to place it on the airflow and fly it through the door rather than hop and hope.
They nailed it. Odin nailed that entrance. Extremo now.
They're making up for lost time here. They're really, really going for it.
A 21.
Yeah, could have been a 23, guys.
Where were they? 8th place, were they overnight?
Yeah, 8th place with 146.
Just to refresh your memory, 4th place overnight, Amnesia, 167, 3rd place, Real Flight, Sion, 185, 2nd place, Qatar Tigers, 186, and 1st place, Wimby French Phils on 191. That's the overnight standings. Here we are now with those teams coming in round 7. This is Amnesia. Shake, shake, in. It's a good start, Leslie.
And they're in 4th position, Amnesia, with 162.
167, I
So
think.
167.
27.83 average. This is going to push through that 23, I think, Leslie.
They're really on fire.
Matteo with his stopwatch. helping the production and us with an instant feedback of what we think the teams have got. Click, click, go the points. Head switches, eye contact, concentration. The whiteboard is being lifted to us. We think it's a 25.
25, unofficial score, of course, but for Amnesia.
Wow. Next in the tunnel it is going to be Gavoish Wimby, not in the top 4 overnight, down in 5th place. Entrance now is critical at this stage of the game. It's good, it's good. It wasn't as fast a transition as we've seen, but it certainly was. It was okay, Leslie, as a start.
And they're off.
If you just joined us on the live stream, a very good morning. It's all intense action here on a Sunday. It's not a day of rest here in France. It's full-on world-class action with the French Indoor National Championships, but with world-class competition in front of your eyes right now. The best four-way you're going to see today for sure.
I love the energy they're putting into this, pushing off of the grip to go into the next point, not hanging around with any. Their eyes, you can see they're really on fire.
Matteo tells us he thinks it's 23 there for that team. Next up, we've got Qatar Tigers, second place overnight on a 31 average and 186. This team from the Middle East that have just been growing in strength and seem to have exploded back onto the scene in the last 6 months with a new energy, a new passion, and a new fire in their bellies. Here they come, Qatar Tigers, currently second place. A good start.
Oh, they didn't hang around in that point. A lot of altitude changes in their block moves, but they're just making it happen. That piece is really dropping out on the 12, but they're making it work. Nice little random sequence there.
Are they as fast as what we saw from Amnesia? I don't know if they are. Amnesia, we think, put down a 25. Is it going to be a 25? You think they might be faster, Leslie?
It's just they're spending microseconds in points. They're so aware of where that last grip is. Look, close and go, close and go.
Matteo holds up the whiteboard now with 25. 28,
28!
Leslie! Whoa!
Wow!
Incredible performance from Qatar Tigers there. Smashing out what we think we've just seen already today. Now, next up, Wimby, France fills at the lead overnight. 31.83 average with 191 points. Good start.
Of course, currently in the lead with 191 points. Full 5 points clear of the Tigers. They can't relax for a second with opposition like this. Oh, this is fast, fast, fast.
Really getting
beautifully controlled.
Getting some great feedback from the audience saying these unofficial scores are really adding to the content and the fun. Gary Smith says that. We do agree, Gary. We're going to try and put this forward into every event. Now 29 from the French girls.
29. Thank you, Mathieu Bernier. This is fantastic. So that would put them on 220 points to Qatar's 212 if the unofficial scores are correct.
One team to go. Overnight standing of third place. Real Fly Sion on 30.83 average with a 185 score. Here they go. 29 to beat if they want to move up.
Are they going to do better than their sisters in the squad?
Turns are blistering. 56% of power through the tunnel. 25 degrees of air against them. 156 kilometers an hour as they power through their action in round 7 in this 17-foot tunnel here in Lille at Wimby.
And this is furious skydiving. I still think the girls have the edge. What do you think, Regan?
I do too. It just doesn't seem to have that extra bit of speed. We're going to find out now. Matteo's is a 29 as well. Wow, incredible. What an amazing morning of action we've had here so far. Leslie and me, Regan Tetlow and Leslie L in the studio, bringing you round 7 of the four-way in the final day of action here at Wimby in Lille. 29s was the name of the game there for you, but it means that if you're going into round 8, it's all still to play for. 8, 9, 10, 3 rounds still to come. Coming up next, the first round of the day of 8-way. We'll bring in your French commentary team in for that. For me and Leslie, we'll see you back here in about half an hour. A very good morning. It's 8:42 on a Sunday morning here in Lille at Wimby with the French Indoor Championships. It's the 25th of March. My name's Regan Tetlow. This is Leslie Gale. We've just seen round 7 of the four-way in the N2 and the N1, and we're going directly into round 8. Tell us a bit about what we saw in the last round there, Leslie.
Well, that was super exciting. Seeing because Mathieu Bernier has been there giving us unofficial scores. Now these are absolutely unofficial. The judges will confirm them, but if we are correct, or if he is correct, then going into that round, Real Flies Leon were 1 point behind Qatar Tigers, so they're in the 3rd position with Qatar in silver. If Mathieu is correct, then I'd put my money on him. Real Flies scored 29, Qatar scored 28, so that would put them exactly level on 214 points, equals silver with 3 rounds to go.
Interesting stuff. So it's all to play for. That silver medal is up for grabs. But remember, it is the French Indoor Championships. It's all about who gets that gold, who gets to represent France from here on for the next year at the international stage. We've got the World Meet in Bahrain coming in October.
October
this
indeed.
year. We're starting now with N2 round 8. Leslie.
And the round is F21K. So that's going to be quite a nice feel-good round. 21 is often, it's the boogie block. It's the one that you do on the weekends. I'm sure we all remember it. F, open accordion, and K, a bow. So it's a nice feel-good round. I think the teams are going to enjoy this one.
Watch your PCP.
I'm just stalling out a little bit on the close of their 21, but moving nicely through the random sequence. And they're doing their 21 on the level. Of course, you can do it vertical. Depends how brave you are. Or a little bit, oh, come on. People tend to get a little bit panicky if they just go 6 inches below the level of the other, and of course that just makes the problem worse. So not the best round from Watch Your PCP there, but
out the door they go on their first round 8 of the championships. Next up we have Les Poissons Ville-les-Chaux. And in the go. It's a good start. Different techniques of starting off this round, Leslie, going to the the F, sorry.
And they're doing a little bit of bottom feeding, but they've got themselves back into a better altitude now. I do like their suits with the different colours on it. It makes it easy to know, if you're doing a block move, you're coming out on the pink person.
Yeah. Pushing down on those grips at the back there, on the inside centre, outside centre.
Yeah, pushing down on everything. C'est les poissons.
So it is the N2 category of the event. Intermediate, some might call it double A, some might call it 2. Lining up in the door now. Next team, Les Frères de l'Écoute.
So this is Yannick, Bruno, Thomas, and Jean-Pierre. Oh, and again, they could use some lessons from you, Regan, I think, on just really smoothing that launch through the door and making sure that they have clean air.
Yeah.
So the teams are suffering for that. Now this team just needs to cross-reference a little bit more. You can see they're flying a little bit to grips, which is why they're getting this big height difference. On the F, if you reference with the next person along, you're going to build a flat F, whereas as it is, they're just building in these little altitude differences, which isn't helping them.
What makes a difference, makes a change.
But that said, they're doing a nice job with the 21s of making the altitude difference coming up.
And out they go, out through the tunnel. It's the last day of action here in Wimby and Lille. We have the great gala dinner at the Mercure Hotel, just a few metres from the front of the tunnel, one of the sponsors of the event. Nice place to stay as well. All the teams and all the competitors and staff are over there.
It's exceptionally nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot nicer than I was expecting, in all honesty. Because like most tunnels, this is in a fairly industrial area, because it doesn't make sense to pay massive prices in the centre of town, and we don't want to pay for parking. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be so nice. The bar's really nice, food is terrific.
A lot of restaurants around here as well. It's a strange area. It's like you say, it's like an industrial estate, but there's all these restaurants, beautiful restaurants, it's like a shopping mall without the shops.
Yes.
As we said.
But a great place for a tunnel.
Yeah, brilliant place for a tunnel.
And
Climbing,
the gala,
Yeah, climbing wall place next door as well. What's up? That's there too.
Yeah, I went in there yesterday. It looks really, really fun.
I've not seen it yet. Oh, and a crash at the end.
And the gala dinner was a nice addition yesterday. We didn't do that last year, but food was terrific, and it's always good to sit around with all of the competitors, the judges, the live stream, the organisers, the people that work here, and just we're one big family in this competition, and it was the epitome of that. It was
The thing with these events, as you know, they're from sunrise to sundown. You don't really get any time to socialise. It's all work, work, work. So it's good last night that we got a few moments to catch up with some of the teams.
Yeah, you have that feeling when you're talking to a competitor and they're in a meet, and you know that they're not really with you. They're thinking P917, you know. And I've had that feeling where somebody's talking to me and I'm thinking,